Okay, and we move on to WPSD Local 6 Legal Line. Joe Roark of the Bryant Law Center in Paducah. Our guest today, the topic is divorce. Perhaps anything else you'd like to talk about legally, but that's the main focus today. 1-888-208-6946 is our number if you have a question you'd like to pose to our attorney. And meanwhile, Joe, let's talk about the way that Bryant Law Center is currently conducting operations. If someone needs to contact you, you all are available, I guess, either by appointment, but a lot of you are working at home.
Yeah, that's correct. We're all actually working at home all the time. If you need to reach us, we can still be reached at our normal office number. Our office is closed to the public. I mean, under executive orders, we're not allowed or permitted to have any sort of in-person contact or meeting with clients. And the courts are closed through May, so there's oftentimes not a lot we can do anyhow. But if you need to reach us, the thing to do is call the regular office number. We've got the phones are being staffed and answered the whole time. They can reach us or our assistants, whoever you need to speak to. You can probably get through to them, and I expect that's the case with most law firms as well. Probably not just us, but at least for the foreseeable future, at a minimum until the 24th, I think is the earliest time we could be open. Nobody will be there in person to do anything. We've also installed a drop box on the front of the office if you needed to leave something, but just call and you should be able to get through. But it's just curious times, and like everybody else, we ask you for your patience. And we're all doing the best we can under these kind of wild circumstances.
We do have a question from Jennifer, who says, how do the executive orders about traveling out of state affect the visitation with my children?
Okay. So currently in Kentucky, the governor has issued an executive order that says if you travel out of state, you have to self-quarantine for 14 days upon your return. You are exempted from that if you are traveling for work, if you are traveling to care for a minor child, or if you're under a court order, are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. So you don't have to self-quarantine if that's the reason. And even if you do have to travel for a reason that's exempted, just try and work it out as best you can. I've seen people, make a big issue out of it and withhold the child until a 14-day period has gone through. I don't know if that's necessarily the right thing to do. And I've seen people just trying to work through this circumstance, because again, there isn't really a court you can get to get anything sorted out. But as with everything, executive orders notwithstanding, just do your best to be sensible, try and be safe. Those orders exist in an effort to try and keep everybody safe, not to hassle folks, but they certainly should not be used as a hammer to hit your ex-spouse over the head with that you don't like and try and withhold the children. So do your best, but the executive orders, if it's for child visitation purposes or requirement of an order or work, you don't have to self-quarantine for those 14 days.
Joe Roark of Bryant Law Center has been our guest on Part 1 of Local 6 Legal Line, and the good news for you is that if you have a question, you haven't had a chance to get that in yet, he'll be back on Part 2 on the other side of the break, and you're welcome to give us a call at 1-888-208-6946. If we can't get to your question today, again, he said they are working remotely. You're welcome to contact them through their regular office